everybody. So, one cool thing is I just got my hair cut. And I always like my hair after I get my hair cut because my hairdresser is fantastic. Her name is Elena. She works at Stellar Hair Company, and that's in Northeast Minneapolis. So if you are in the Minneapolis area and you're like, I want a cool place to get my hair cut, I would recommend Elena at Stellar Hair Company. I would actually recommend the entire Stellar Hair Company staff. They're all super cool and neat, and they're edgy and non-judgmental and open-minded and very talented, and the owner is really, really cool. The company does good things for the community. Blah, 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 blah. So I always feel sharp and cool after my haircut, so that's good. I also, after my haircut, typically tend to feel really, we're trying something a little new with the back right now, and my hair's not quite long enough to pull it off, so it sticks out a little bit. But that's just because I'm growing it out to be a disconnected undercut rather than, because we used to blend, if you were curious, we used to blend the top and the back. They would blend together. But now it's going to be a disconnected, short to long, kind of thing. Anyway, I always feel really androgynous after a haircut too, which I like. It makes me feel good, and when I feel really androgynous and I feel good, it makes me want to feel, it also makes me feel kind of bad, because it reminds me of the, not androgynous things about me. So I just spent, this is what, a disconnected undercut is. It's how, these two things, they don't, the sides and the top are separate entities. They're not, blended, or, yeah. But what was I talking about? Oh, so I should be working right now on making props for tomorrow's video, but I probably just spent an hour watching non-binary top surgery results, or people who've had top surgery but are not on testosterone and AFAB, and there's not that many out there, and I think I definitely had this in my mind for a while about whether or not I would want to do that. But I think one of the things that's holding me back is the fact that there aren't that many people out there. And the fact, or at least there's not that many people out there who've done the thing. I can find 10, maybe max. There's probably 10 people on YouTube who have done the thing and shown their results. But to find all 10, it takes a little digging. And I don't know. It's scary. Because I don't see a lot of people who do that, it makes me feel like it's not allowed, which is incorrect. I'm acknowledging that's not correct. But still, you have these internalized feelings and you feel these things. Or I think to myself, maybe the fact that not that many people have done this, shows that it's a bad idea. But again, I know that's wrong. I know that in my heart that is wrong. But then another thing I watched, so let's say, I found about 10 people who identify as non-binary and have had top surgery. Out of those 10, 3 of them later down the road decided to go on T. And that's totally fine. But I know that's not something I would want to do. I mean, I never say never. But I really, I hate this because what if I am, what if I do change my mind about this and then then I eat my words later? I don't want to have a Connor Franta moment where he makes a video titled "I am not gay" and talks about he is not gay, and then later comes out as super gay. I don't want to make a video that says I'm sure I will never go on testosterone and one day change my mind. But so I reserve the right to change my mind. But if I were to look into myself, I really don't think going on T is in my future. I just don't have a desire, and I don't predict I ever will have a desire. But I could be wrong. Yeah. So I don't know. So when I see these people get top surgery and later decide to go on T, it like reinforces this idea in my head that you have to like some kind of transitioning. I don't even view it as like transitioning for me. I don't know why. That might in itself be internalized transphobia. I view it like I didn't view my haircut as like transitioning. I just viewed it as like doing something that makes me happy, changing a thing about myself that makes me happy, which like kind of is a definition of transitioning. And so for me, if I were to do some kind of breast augmentation, whether it's a breast reduction or top surgery, what was I talking about? I'm so self-conscious about everything I'm saying. I would view my breast augmentation similar to my haircut, not like necessarily as a transition move, just the thing I'm doing to be more comfy with myself and my appearance. But am I doing that because like I'm trying to like further myself from transness and transitioning? I've never really strongly like whether or not I can't like I'm so scared to even say this. I'll say this. I have never really clicked with the word trans. That's why I always describe my my identity as genderqueer. When somebody asks what gender, like about my gender, I would say I'm genderqueer. And if somebody were to look at me and they were to say, "You're genderqueer," cool. That falls under the trans umbrella. You fall under the trans umbrella. I wouldn't like argue with them. I'd probably just be like, "If you say so." But I don't think like on my own I don't think I would ever. Not ever. I right now wouldn't be like, "Hi, my name's Ash. Things about me include I'm transgender, specifically genderqueer. I blah 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 blah. Like the color aqua and have 2 cats." Like I wouldn't offer that up on my own. I would just say I'm genderqueer because that's like a word that definitely clicks. It took me so long to find a gender word that clicked. I tried on so many and I just couldn't do it. And finally, I was so hesitant to claim genderqueer because it seemed too like ambiguous for me, and I really like things. It makes it easier, you know, when things are like clear cut, obviously. So eventually I was like, fine. Let me like reflect and kind of think about whether genderqueer will work, but it's stupid and ambiguous. And then I like opened my mind up to it, and I was like, oh no, it's great. So yeah. But basically, right now I'm like kind of struggling because I'm watching all of these videos about non-binary people getting top surgery, and it's making me nervous because some of them, oh my gosh, I look and I'm so jealous. I'm like, that looks great. If I could look like that, I would like be so happy. And some of them, not so much. And I think a lot of it has to do with like where the incisions are and how the scarring is and like dog ears, and you can do your best to control that, and you can like pick a surgeon that's, you know, very skilled, but like at the end of the day, everybody who gets top surgery risks having like very visible scars. Everybody risks having dog ears. Everybody risks having the placement be a little wonky because the person performing the procedure on you is a human, you know? You can they can have so much experience and they can have great results on all these other people, but there is always a chance that it's not going to go exactly as planned. And so I look at some people, I'd be like, ooh, I wouldn't be so happy with this. But then I look at the people that I'm jealous of, and I'm like, I'm so jealous of you. But then I dig into their channel some more, and I find out that they've gone on T, and then it like reinforces this idea in my head, like I said, that it's an all or nothing thing, that you like have to transition, that you have to be super ripped and have a beard. if you ever want to have a flat chest. And then another thing is I can't decide if I want top surgery or a breast reduction. I feel like I really can't decide. I keep flip-flopping because I think what I really want actually is top surgery, but I'm really afraid that I'm going to, that the scars are going to really, I'm really worried about how I will react to the scars. Society already thinks I'm so, like weird, that if I like purposely put scars on my body, I feel like it's just like an excuse for them to point and think that's bizarre and strange and even weird. There's like a lot of shame happening right now, which I would never, ever, ever extend to anybody else, or I never see on anyone else. Like when I watch like trans guys take off their shirt and they have scars, I think they look great. I think they look really cool. I think people can rock their scars really, really well. I am self-conscious. I know a lot of trans people are self-conscious about their scars. So I'm not saying like trans guys can handle their scars, but I can't. No, or trans guys like never worry about their scars, but I will. No, I know that a lot of trans guys struggle with their scars, but a lot of trans guys don't. They're proud of their scars. Their scars are a source of pride for them. They rock their scars. They look good. And I don't know. So I guess a part of me is like leaning towards so like I said, what I think I really want is top surgery, but I'm afraid of the scarring. And if you get a breast reduction, like a significant breast reduction, you will also have scars, but they will be hidden, by your boob. Like your boob will like fall over your scar a bit. It'll be like less obvious. So I'm like kind of like wondering if I should do that. Because I feel like a breast reduction would be like the safe route. But I feel like top surgery might be what I want. But then I worry that, say I do choose the safe route, then I'm so worried about what people will think. And then I'm worried if I choose a breast reduction that people would be like, she got a breast reduction and she's trying to make it a huge like trans issue and she just wants attention. If she was really trans, she'd get top surgery, but she's not. And that's why she got a breast reduction. And it's like, no. I know this. This is what I know for sure. I don't like the size of my chest. I know that for certain. I'm so sure of that. That's why I bind whenever I can. And the reason I've been thinking about top surgery more and more is because I've been binding so much that it hurts. It hurts and it's bad. Your binder should never hurt. And then because I don't want to like damage my body, when it starts to hurt, I take my binder off. But because I've been wearing my binder so much, then I feel really not good when I wear a sports bra, and I'm not allowed to wear my binder at work, because work involves like a lot of activity that would be bad for a binder, so that's weird. I've recently just spent time with some people who are AFAB and don't like have a chest, and I almost felt weird because I like couldn't stop. I just kept looking at their body and being like, that looks so great. In a like, I want that way. Like, you look so good. And I was just like, shirts fit you so well. And it reminded me of like what I want. So anyway, this is my really weird top surgery video. I'm going to acknowledge that a lot of my like conflicted feelings definitely come from. It's weird. It's weird because like, have you ever like been super hard on yourself, but you know that if somebody else was in the same situation and struggling, you'd be like, it's totally okay. Like, you're doing great, that's fine, and you should do what makes you happy. Like, fuck everyone else and do what makes you happy. I truly believe those things, except for when it applies to me. Like, I genuinely believe those things for other people. I think other people's bodies are beautiful. I'm all about body positivity on other people. I can look at all types of bodies when it's someone else and, like, not just say you look good, but, like, actually believe you look good. Even though maybe your body is, like, not a traditional depiction of, like, beautiful in our, according to our society. I can, like, look at a person who is, like, non-traditionally beautiful and be like, you are beautiful, and believe that. But then whenever I think about becoming, like, non-traditionally beautiful, I feel like I'm not allowed to. And I recognize that a lot of this is coming from, like, a super shamey, self-hatey, internalized, society wiggled in your mind, Ash. They got in your mind, and they're making you view the world in a biased way. And I acknowledge that. I acknowledge that I have some problematic views. But I guess I want to clarify that it's really only when it applies to me, but that's, like, kind of what internalized ish is. Sometimes. And I'm working on changing that, you know? I'm not just like, wow, I have some, like, not great perspectives, and I'm just gonna keep on keeping on. Like, I'm working on deconstructing all of it, but it's hard. It's hard. You can't just, like, do it. It takes effort, and I'm efforting. But these are kind of, like, where I am right now with the whole my body thing and what I want to do with it. What do you guys think? I'm sure I said some not. I mean, if I said anything that you think, if I said anything that made you feel weird, let me know. I want to apologize for it. It's hard. I'm walking a weird line between, like, being honest and open and potentially being too honest and open. You know what I'm saying? So if you think I was ever too honest or open, let me know. Okay.